What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rowdy Player One channel. I am Rowdy. Today we've got a big one. I have 20 books over here that are my top priorities for 2025. Why didn't I do 25 books? Well, I don't know. I just didn't. I've got 20. These are going to be either indie authors, which I have one of their books. I've got one that's got two books. They're going to be standalones. They're going to be a couple of, let's see, there's one or two that are trilogies. There's a couple that are 6 books or more. It's just a bunch of everything. And whenever I start the series, my attempt is going to be, we will say this and we'll figure it out. I'm going to attempt to read the whole series if I have the books. Now, some of these I have all of them, and I'll attempt to do my best to get them all done next year. But that's why I'm just counting like one, and then it'll be like a series potentially, or it'll be a standalone. We'll figure that out. But yeah, like I said, here's my 20 main top priority books of 2025. So where do I want to get started? Let's just go with a humongous chunky book and series. We will go with Ken Follett's, sorry about that, the Pillars of the Earth series. These books are huge. There's like, I want to think 4 or 5 in the series, but I'm going to read this first one, or attempt to read this first one, obviously the Pillars of the Earth. I've heard unbelievable things about this series, but it's one of them that you either absolutely love it or it's definitely not for you. So if I like it, I will attempt to continue on. I mean, I got this little thing for 75 cents on mass market paperback. Can't beat that, especially to try something out. So Pillars of the Earth is going to be on the list. After that, we are going to try, these are not in no order on how I'm going to do it, except for at least 2 of them. I know what I'm reading in January, because I'll explain that. We will do next Robin Hobb, Assassin's Apprentice. I have all 3 of the Farseer trilogy books in mass market paperback, so I will obviously try the first one, and then if I like it, I'll continue on. But Robin Hobb, Assassin's Apprentice, looks really good. I know that she's like brutal to fits, as what I've heard, and it's like never ending, just pain at all times. Then we will go with the Big Daddy himself, George R.R. Martin, The Game of Thrones, which is Song of Ice and Fire series. I have all of these books as well, or obviously the first 5, because who knows if the 6th one will ever come out. But I am looking forward to actually starting this to see what it's all about. Obviously, I watched all of the Game of Thrones show, and I loved it except for the last season. But we are gonna attempt to start, and I think the second book is what most people say is the favorite. I think it's the Feast of Crows, something like that. But George R.R. Martin is a priority series. What do we want to go to next? Let's go with indie author J.G. Terrell and Bloodwoven. He was kind enough to send me this one and the second book, Bloodbound, and it looks awesome. I am very excited to start this series next month. And this has got some tiny writing. I don't know if you can see that or not on the page. Whew, that'll be fun. But I'm very much looking forward to trying Bloodwoven out. It looks awesome. Let's go with another indie author, Adam Holcomb, with a necromancer called Gam Gam. I grabbed this one and then grabbed the other one, Wishing Bone. So it is, which now let me go back. Bloodwoven, it says it obviously on it, it's a trilogy, but only the first two books are out. I'm not sure when the third one comes out. So it may be coming out soon in 2025. I don't remember. But obviously I will try to grab it if I enjoy these, which I'm sure I will. Necromancer called Gam Gam and Wishing Bone. Try to get those read as well. This sounds awesome. I can't wait to read it. Then we have another indie author, Alex Schusterman, The Odelic Stone. It looks awesome. Look at that rooster on the cover. Let me get that light out. There it is. That is pretty cool. This sounds really interesting to me. And, you know, I think he had said, I'd mentioned before that I was reading The Hunter, or I am almost finished with it now, but that I really enjoyed how the chapters are super short, like 4 to 10 pages per chapter, and I like that. And Alex let me know that his is not like that. There's a whole bunch of pages in the chapter, so, but that's okay. It's no big deal. I'm excited to give this a shot. Hopefully be able to knock that out. I'm attempting to read at least The Odelic Stone in January. That is one of the ones that I'm definitely planning on reading in January. He was kind enough to send that to me, so I appreciate that, Alex. Let's go with a well, no, it's not a standalone, but I'm going to probably treat it as a standalone because I heard the others are not near as good. And that is Hyperion by Dan Simmons. I love this little floppy book. I've heard incredible things about Hyperion. I hadn't seen anybody that said they don't like it. And now you don't hear much about the others because I think there's 3, 4, 5 books in this series. I only hear about this first one. So that's all I'm planning on reading in this, unless it's just mind blowing and everyone's like, no, go ahead and read the second book. So that's my plan on Hyperion, is to read the first one. Then, of course, we've got a classic. I am going to immersive read The Hobbit. I've got on the Libby app the Andy Serkis audiobook of it, and everyone says that it is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to immersive read that with this and just listen. I mean, obviously he plays Gollum so in the movies, so I'm sure it is unbelievable whenever you read it or listen to him. Then we are going to try the man himself, Stephen King. I have Billy Summers here, and I have not read any Stephen King at all. I have I have the whole set of The Green Mile that I will eventually read as well. I was planning on trying to do like one of those little books, I think it's like 6 or 8 of them that come in for the whole thing. I was trying to do that. I may just read like one every so often to kind of get the story like that. But we have Billy Summers. This is about I think it's a retired like guy that goes and trying to get out of a job or something. Billy Summers sounds awesome. I'm excited to give it a shot. It'll be my first Stephen King. If I don't read this one instead first. 11/22/63. Now this is a chunky book right here. This deals with time travel and all that. It's over 800 pages. Woo boy. Anyways, this has got time travel in it. It's basically about the JFK assassination and trying to go back and I think stop it from happening. And I've heard this right here. A lot of people say this may be like top 3 or 4 best Stephen King books, like period. You know, along with like obviously It, The Stand, Shining, those, like it's in there with it by what I understand. So I am super excited to try to read it. Neither one of these are horror books, so I definitely want to try them first to see what I think. And if I love them, then we will discuss. We'll try. I'm in the process right now of reading, or I'm fixing to start, sorry, Blood Woe. Dark Bloom. There we go. Look at that. I can remember things. Dark Bloom by Molly McCobb, and I'm looking forward to that. That'll be my first horror novel I've ever read. Let's see. Then we got another standalone. We are going to attempt to do The Sword of Kagan by M.L. Wong. This right here is like universally praised as an unbelievable book. I know it won the Spiff Bow a couple of years ago, and I actually have the Kickstarter from Wraithmark Creative's special edition of this, and then Rob J. Hayes's Never Die. And I'd like to have this one read and just keep that other one as like a keepsake. Like it looks so good. I've heard so many good things about this one, and it's a chunky boy too, over 600 pages. So, Sword of Kagan is on the list. Then we've got a trilogy, and I've only got the first book, so I'm hoping it's good. Jade City by Fonda Lee. This right here is probably my most confident book that I feel like is going to be outstanding. Like, same way with The Sword of Kagan, like this series is like universally praised to be amazing. So, and supposedly book 2 and like book 3 is even better than Jade City. So I'm excited to check it out. I definitely want to get to reading this, and it looks awesome. So that is the Greenbone Saga's Jade City. Then we've got another trilogy. John Gwynn's Bloodsworn Saga? Yep, the Bloodsworn Saga. This is book 1, The Shadow of the Gods. Sounds incredible. They say book 2 is nearly as good. I actually have it over there. And then book 3 just come out in October. I heard from a lot of people that it's the weakest, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Like, they're all great. But, if you're going to put one place-em wise, it would be considered the weakest of the 3. But everybody says no one does battle sequences as good as John Gwynn, so I'm very excited to give this a shot and see if that is the case, because it sounds amazing. Then we will go with, I've already read the first book. We are going to continue in the First Law with Before They're Hanged. And what's the other one? The Last Argument of Kings. So I have the whole trilogy over there. The first book I absolutely loved, The Blade itself. Continue on with Glocta. I can't wait to see if he gets better and better. I mean, I know I'm supposed to eventually hate him, I'm sure, but man, he's my favorite character right now, after the first book. So I'm very excited to continue on in this. Logan Ninefingers is really good too, but nothing right now is can beat Glocta. I mean, it might change, so we will see. Then we're going to go with a standalone indie, and we're going to go with the man himself, Aaron Payne, Mr. Bibliotheory, Falling into Oblivion. This is a sick cover, and I think he's fixing to start dropping stuff about book 2. So I'm hoping I love this, and I've heard a lot of really good things about Falling into Oblivion. So I definitely am excited to give this a shot this year. We will then continue with the Red Rising saga. I actually, for Black Friday, purchased every single one of the books that are left. I've read the first one, obviously. I read it early this year and loved it. And I'm very excited to start Golden Sun. And a lot of people say it's the best one of them all. And they're all good, but that one's like the top of the top. So I am super stoked to give it a shot and absolutely love this. Darrow, awesome character. So I think it's going to be amazing. Then we will be doing The Empire of Silence. We're going to start the Sun Eater saga. I've got the first 3 books in the Broken Binding editions. My plan for this is I think I'm just going to read these 3 books this year. Obviously, when the Broken Binding puts books 4 and 5 out at some point this year, I may, if it comes in time, read the next 2. If not, they will be in 2026. And then obviously 2026 will have books 6 and 7 where it ends the series. And then I will read those then. But I plan on reading the first 3 in this series this year for sure. And then if it's unbelievable, I may just go ahead and read them and then buy the other ones. But we will see. I will at least do the first 3, not the trilogy. Next we've got the God Eater himself, Rob J. Hayes. Upside down. Sorry about that. Age of the God Eater. I am ecstatic to try this out. I heard it's super dark, but anyways, there's Harold. I've got the other 2 and it's a trilogy of trilogies. So I don't really know how to call this, but I'm going to read the first 3 books this year. Obviously, the first 2 are novellas, Deathless, and I can't remember the other one. Demoned. Deathless and Demoned, and then Harold, this is the big chunky boy. The other 2 are not that bad. So that will be read this year. I am looking forward to it. It looks really good. All right. These next 2, the last 2 that I have, will be started. One of them obviously will be finished in January, and then I will continue with this other one. The first one is The Bound and the Broken by Ryan Cahill. This is a Blood and Fire. I have all 6 of his first 6. Obviously, we will start January with The Fall. So if anyone wants to jump on, do some kind of buddy read or get together with that, I would love to do it. I'm gonna start and read. The only thing I hadn't decided is if I'm gonna read a novella and a book each month, because the novellas are short, but the books get huge. Of War and Ruin is like 1,000 or 1,100 pages. It's massive, and there's a lot of words on those pages too. But I've heard nothing but outstanding things about this series. Like, it keeps getting better and better, and he gets to become a better and better writer as it keeps moving on. I know his next book is coming out. I don't know if it's early of 2025 or middle of 2025. I don't remember. But I want to knock these out. At least do one a month, if not. But that's probably what it'll be. It'll be one a month. And then in January, I actually am a part of a buddy read that's going to include Kevin Toll reads, Trav's Bookshelf, and some other character. And we will be reading Lonesome Dove. This right here is a beefy boy as well. This, I think, is considered the greatest Western story ever, maybe? Could be. I think that's right. Larry McMurtry sounds amazing. I know this is I think there's 4 books in this series, but Lonesome Dove is, I think, supposed to be the best. Maybe the first 2 are really, really good. I think the second one's like Streets of Laredo. But I definitely am looking forward to starting Lonesome Dove. I've never read a Western. I have True Grit over there that I might try at some point, but Lonesome Dove I'm super looking forward to. And we're still working on the details on trying to figure out how we're going to do it. If we're going to meet up once a week, once every 2 weeks, or just one big video that talk for an hour and a half or whatever about the book. So we'll get that figured out. But that starts January. And yeah, that is my 20 priority books for 2025. And I am very much looking forward to this. I know it's only 20, but there's actually, if you do all the series, it's probably closer to 40. And we'll see about how far I make it with all that. But that's the one. These all are definitely planned to be done. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, what do y'all have plans for 2025? What books are you planning on reading? Like it's a must. I have to get these read this year. Like, gonna get it done. If you would, leave a comment about that down below. If you even have any plans on it, if you're just gonna wing it, do whatever it is and go from there. If you would, please leave a like on the video. It truly, truly helps to like the video. It spreads it out to everyone else. And subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you join the channel. And if anybody is interested in joining up reading these books, or if you have want a buddy read or do something else, let me know, because I'd be more than happy to do that with anybody that's interested. And yeah, that's all I got. Subscribe to the channel, of course. And y'all have a fantastic day. Bye.